For hundreds of years, kingdoms have dedicated their livelihood to evolving warfare. Now, this is a combat game not just about building power and crushing your opponents, but also outpacing rival combat strategies. There's going to be a ton of pre-planning where you construct terrain for your opponents, build outposts for your kingdom, and craft unique combinations of units to prepare for battle. With asymmetric player powers, you'll be utilizing different kingdom abilities and marching your way towards battle, strengthening your defenses with ramparts, imprisoning rival units, and of course, taking out opposing armies. Bottom line, the ultimate goal of Warline is to imprison 3 units, to take out 5 of your opponent's units, or pillage 2 outposts. That is Warline. Thank you to LJ Plays for sponsoring today's video. We have joined me for the very first time ever on the channel, Josh, for the first ever multiplayer gameplay. So here we go with Warline. We are going to start off first with scout terrain. What this means is that me and Josh are going to take turns and take out 9 tiles, and we're pretty much going to compose our opposite terrain. So I'm going to pretty much build out Josh's map. And the differences behind the tiles here are as following. So with this terrain, we have the valley, the hills, the mountain, and the iceland first. Now the differences between these 4, you can see right here, is that they have some diamonds up top and on bottom. This basically is a magic pool, and it tells you exactly how much it costs in order to move into this terrain. So for ice, it will cost 4 magic in order to move into this specific terrain. Now, the other 3, first we have the marshland, and you'll notice here how it has not only diamonds to show the magic reserve, but it'll show 2 symbols. So this is a rampart, and that basically is going to add defense to your terrain. And then you have one that says a sacrifice order. It means you cannot perform either of those actions when you're on this specific type of terrain. Now the next 2, the ocean, you'll see a giant red diamond. That means you have to exhaust your entire pool of magic in order to move onto here. And then the forest, exact same thing as the marsh, except it has a difference in the amount of magic that you have to exhaust in order to move onto here. Now you might be wondering, what's the whole point of adding these different types of terrain? Well, it actually depends on the factions that we're playing. So there are a total of 4 factions in the game. We have the Frost, Flame, Sea, and Timber. I'm gonna play today with Frost. Josh is playing on the Fire side today with Flame, hence our lighting for today, blue and red. So now we're gonna go ahead and scout our terrain. The goal here is to sabotage the Flame Kingdom as much as possible by throwing out ice pretty much everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, I have the most ultimate combat strategy that is guaranteed KO, just FYI.
Still just playing at random.
Okay, so that was scout terrain, and you'll notice here how there is a ton of pre-planning involved before we get into combat. Next up, we're moving to stage 2, which is the outpost stage. So for the outpost stage, we both have 2 outposts. Now think of these as like your home base. You do not want to get these destroyed, because if you do, that is game over. Both these destroyed, that's game. So the first thing I'm gonna do is place them in an area that is somewhat protected and away from Josh's secret strategy of this freaking path that he has here going on. So I think I'm gonna place mine here and here. And we also place it simultaneously as well. So Josh can place his.
Here and right here.
So what's the reasoning behind putting it behind this wave of ocean, pool, forest thing you got going on?
Honestly, I just like that spot. It's symmetrical.
I like that. I like the strategy behind that, dude. Cool.
No, I feel like, you know what? To the detriment, it feel like the ocean tiles might slow us both down. So it's a little strategy on both our ends. And here, just nice tucked away, good defenses. And we'll see how it plays out.
Josh has no idea what he's doing. We actually took him out of the room so I can give you some side commentary. But what I'm going to do is completely sabotage his terrain by putting out different ice tiles. So his movement is gonna be super limited. He's gonna be so frustrated to watch. And I'm also throwing out water tiles everywhere. That way his units are pretty much drowning before they even get to me.
So the faction today I'm playing is Flames. Their battalions specifically have abilities that burn the marsh and the forest terrain tiles specifically. So I picked the majority of those, but I also tossed in some hill tiles just to make things harder for Tim to maneuver around to reach my outpost.
So that was stage 1, scouting, stage 2, outpost. Now we move on to stage 3, which is recruiting. Now here is how recruit works. You'll see a display of cards, 3 cards on the table, and I'm gonna take one and then draw another at random. So these 2 are effect cards, and this one has a raw number. This raw number is going to add combat strength, either attack or defense, as you'll see when we start fighting. And this up top also adds a pool of more magic that I can use as well. These two over here are effect cards that will also trigger depending on their conditions. So you can see which type of conditions as an example. This one over here is called Perfect Coordination. So for this one, it says wheeling will cost 0 magic and it triggers at the bottom effect shown here. So this one says it will be triggered right after issuing a maneuver tactical order, which is pretty much your movement. So that is an example, but I'm gonna take number 3 as my raw card and then draw this super secret card. And then I'm going to replenish this row. And then now it is Josh's turn to choose.
And I will grab Perfect Coordination and draw 1 and then reveal another for the row.
You're not gonna take the 4 damage?
It's all about the strategy, not just raw power.
No, it's all raw power, dude, as you'll see right now. Okay, now moving on from the second part of recruit. So first we take cards as our recruit action. Next, we're going to actually start building up our unit. So behind our player screens, we both have a set of 6 dice, and here's how dice works. On these dice, you'll notice here how it has a number, just like the support card you saw earlier. So that number is going to be the strength of your unit, and each unit has an asymmetric power that I'll show you momentarily. So first is the raw number, and then up top you'll see a sword icon that's going to show you the direction that this unit is facing. In this case, it's facing towards Josh. And then thirdly, we also have a magic reserve. Number 1 units, the quote weakest units, are going to have the most magic reserve. So number 1 will have a total of 7 magic in its reserve. And then lastly, you have your most powerful units. You have 4, 5, and 6. These all have a hammer symbol. That means that they can actually demolish a rampart completely. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and start building up my pool as well. And in order to build up your pool, you have to have, your total units have to add up to a total of 21.
So I chose to have 2 6-unit battalions. I like the idea of having just big, monstrous, bulky battalions. So I'm gonna place mine. Do we place them too?
Yeah, you can reveal your screen too.
Oh, show the screen here. 2 6 units, 1 4, and 2 1s. I like to have 2 extremes, super light, kind of glass cannon units that can move a lot, but they don't really do well in battle. And the opposite, 2 6-sided dice, really strong hit, hard hitting units, but can't really move too much. And then just to even it out, I got a 4 unit to destroy those ramparts because I know they get super annoying. And then lastly, a 3, again, just to even it out, gonna have some well-roundedness in our army.
Mm-hmm. See, the reason why I like your strategy so much is because here I have 2 6s. Here I also have a 4 and 3. So I like, big bulky units to start out with. So I start out with 2 6s as well. I also like very light units because I think that's a great idea. And then I also have 2 right in between as well. So we literally have the same exact matchup here. Okay, and then we take turns placing 2 dice at once. So you can go first.
All right, I'll place my ones right here.
Yep. Where are you gonna go with those high magic units? This is my question.
I don't know.
I'm gonna start off with a 6 here, and my other 6 unit right smack in front too, like right here. Actually, right in the back, right there.
All right, so then I'm gonna place my 3 unit back here, and my 4 unit on the outpost.
Okay, and then let's do 4 unit on the outpost, and a 3 unit to right in the center too.
All right, interesting. All right, 1 6 unit all the way up here, and last but not least, right here.
Okay, and my last ones, I'll place a 1 right smack in the middle, and 1 more 1 over here. That is our stage 4 deploy. From there, we move on to the final stage of the game, which is going to be battle. So from here on out, it is back-to-back action. So let me show you how Josh is going to get destroyed. Okay, so we're gonna make this super simple. There are 2 actions that you can perform in this game. First off, if you run out of cards, you can always replenish the cards by discarding your hand. Maximum hand size is 2. And then drawing the same exact way that we did earlier. So replenishing is 1 main action. The other main action that you have a choice of performing, the one that we're gonna be doing most of the time, is to maneuver. And maneuver has a ton of sub actions as well. So Josh can go ahead and go first and explain how his maneuver action is gonna go.
My first tactical order that I'm going to issue is on my 6th battalion, and I'm going to use its actual first ability, which is Pounce, and that costs 1 magic unit of my 2 total, which allows me to basically jump in a straight line to an opposing battalion, as long as there's no rampart blocking it. From there, we're going to engage in battle.
I totally forgot about your pounce, dude.
Super strong ability.
Whoops, okay.
So, since we're in battle, since I'm the one that's attacking first, I get to place 1 card face down, but I'm probably not going to.
Oh, nothing.
I don't need anything.
6th unit. That might have been your most fatal mistake, because I'm going to play this card. So I'm going to add +4 to my 1 die, which gives me a 5. And then how does combat work here?
So combat, if I were to have placed 1 card, I would have added that to my strength, similar to Tim, but since I didn't place a card, my total strength is 6. Tim placed a 4 card, and he would add that total to his 1 unit battalion for a total of 5.
Yep.
And then from there, we take the difference between my total damage and his total damage, and which would be 6 minus 5.
Which is 1, which means I die.
Still wouldn't be enough.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
And take that first kill for the game.
Yeah. You see, here's the thing. I like to start off the game with like a motivator. You know what I'm saying? So like, I want you to feel like empowered to start off with.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. So you actually fell into my bait, which is I knew you were gonna pounce, and I knew you were gonna attack, which is why I wanted to waste 1 of my card intentionally.
Well, I'm not done yet because that Pounce ability was only 1 magic.
Okay.
I still have 1 magic counter left, which allows me to then take the march subset of the maneuver to march over your outpost on turn 1, Tim. Already, pressure's up.
You're right. Okay. Well, wait. That's on you, right? So you have 1 more.
I'm gonna issue my 2nd tactical order, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna take this 6 unit battalion
And pounce again?
1 more time.
Frick. Okay.
And I'm gonna place. I'm gonna place the card down.
Okay. So 6 against 3. And then... Yeah. Okay. You know what? Me too. Why not? Why not use all my resources right away?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, face up.
Face up.
So 3.
Okay. And then now reveal.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Dang,
4.
dude, 10? Okay, so 10, so 4 damage to me, which means my unit automatically gets freaking destroyed, dude. Dang, okay.
And that's my 2nd order. Your battalions are looking a little thin there, Tim.
Oh my god, okay. We're gonna figure this out right now. Okay, so let's see. Next turn, I'm gonna start off with this one and issue a rampart building action. So, how rampart buildings work is with this unit, I can build a rampart expending 1 magic resource, and it has to be adjacent to my unit. So I am going to take my stack of 6 ramparts and start building right here. So that's going to be 1. I can't build on there. Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize I did this myself. Why did I do this again? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have, so that's 4. I have 3 magic left for 1. So let's do this one and this one. And I'm going to, for my last action, wheel, which is pretty much to turn my unit 1 direction this way. So there goes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 magic for that unit. And I get 1 more to use. I think I might just let that go and for having to pillage, because I have no way to actually get back there, because right now I have 2 magics here for my 6th unit, but it's gonna cost me 2 just to move here. So there's literally, I don't think there's a single way for me to defend against that. So for my 2nd action, I'm gonna take my 6th unit, and one of my abilities for the number 6 unit is that they can literally fly on over to any frost rampart. So I'm gonna fly all the way over here, and then that's gonna cost 1 magic. I got 1 magic left. And with my 2nd one, I'm going to descend from the ramparts and fly onto this one and engage immediately. So there goes that. There goes combat. I have no cards in my hand, so up to you.
I'm not gonna play a card.
Okay. So then we resolve damage. So 6 minus 1, that's 5. 5 damage onto your unit. Is that instant death?
Instant death. That's 1 on the board.
Bam. And then I also gain vigor onto my unit. This means that this unit cannot be routed off the board. And when you route, you're actually going to be taking a unit and pretty much pushing them off the board. This is one way that you can gain prisoners in the game as well. So from that concludes my turn. Back to you.
Back to me.
Back to you.
Decisions. I am actually surprisingly not going to pillage your outpost. Instead, I will issue a tactical order.
You're gonna leave that juicy victory condition, 50% victory condition like that?
I'm 10 steps ahead of you, Tim.
Oh, okay.
Just trust the process. But I'm actually going to play my perfect coordination skill card, which allows me to wheel at no cost.
Okay.
So I'm going to wheel my 6-unit battalion to the left.
Okay.
And actually use its pounce ability again. So that's one of the magic counters off. I'm gonna pounce all the way to your other outpost, and we're gonna engage in battle.
Dude, it can pounce across terrain, huh? Like that? Okay.
Yep. And that's I have no cards to play anymore.
Okay, same.
So that's straight damage battle. That's my 6
to 4, so it deals 2 damage. And then in order to resolve that, 4 is going to drop all the way down to 2 and still facing the same way. So my 4 was facing that way, right here, forward. So I'm gonna face my sword this way. There goes that. This is still engaged, which means we're gonna take this counter and put it right on top.
Okay, so that was my first tactical order. I'm gonna issue one more to my 1-unit battalion here that has 7 magic counters. So let's see how far you can get here. Let's go march 1, 2. Let's do it, yeah. 4, which is 6, and then 1 more, 7.
Straight. Okay. Okay, so next turn, I got something fun for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is counterattack this tower here. So I'm gonna take this off for a second, and then it's gonna deal 2 damage instantly to your number 6. So 6 goes down to 4, facing that way. And then, so that's part of the upkeep phase, and then we get into tactical orders or drawing more cards here, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to wheel, so that's 1 magic expended, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to help protect that outpost a little bit. I have 1 more tactical order that I can issue, so Vigor is going to be gone as well from this unit. For my second one, you only left me with half my army left, so I don't really know what else to do. I'm gonna take number 6 and issue 1 movement and then wheel for my last action. So there's that.
Okay.
Back to you.
A little bit safe, I'm not going to issue any tactical orders. Instead, I'm going to draw 2 advantage cards.
Okay.
So I'm going to take this nice +4 to damage and draw 1 more. And also
Replenish this one.
And that's my turn.
I'm going to spend my entire turn taking this card, and I'm also going to draw 1 more and then replenish, and this is the brand new row. So since it's back to your turn, I'm actually going to play my hidden card here. It's called a Troublesome Spy. So how a Troublesome Spy works is right at the upkeep phase, which we are in right now, I am going to take one of your cards, choose them, and discard them. So I can look through your whole hand. Yep.
So hand reveal.
Oh, both 4s. What are you hiding behind there, man? Okay, well, that one can go.
So it goes.
Discard it. So now you got 2 4s. Interesting.
4, okay. Well, that changes my plan a little bit. Definitely does.
Okay.
I'm gonna get rid of this problem here. I'm gonna issue my first tactical order. I'm gonna take my unit here. I'm gonna wheel, which is 1 magic counter, so I'm down to 3, and engage. I'm gonna place my
secret
1
card face down.
I wonder what that could be.
Hmm.
Hoping you don't place the card down.
Let's see. Let's do that too. I'm gonna respond exactly like how you want to respond. Face up again.
No.
4 and 4, 8. So that counts out, which means
10 actually. So I take 2 damage.
2 damage.
So then I am at 2.
Yep.
But we are still engaged. So that goes there. And is that my first turn? My first turn. No more cards left to play. Then I'm going to maneuver this unit and 2 counters, so 1, and then wheel 2. That's it.
You know, it looks like you have the upper hand right now, but I feel like Flame may be descending down real soon. So we're gonna take off disengaged and continue our upkeep phase. So this is going to deal 6 damage to your 2 in this tower. So this unit is now gone, and we are now tied for victory conditions here. Second upkeep is this one, so this one's also gonna take damage too. It's gonna go down to 2 in this tower. So from 6 to 4 to 2. And then we begin the game again. So I have no cards in hand. Do you have cards?
No.
Oh, both of us have no cards, okay. Let's see, I am gonna take this unit and march for 1. So there goes 1, and I'm gonna leave that there. And then second command is going to be, who to take out next? Who to take? Oh, I got you. Okay. Okay, so here is how Josh's unit is going to be imprisoned. I'm going to now perform the route action. And how this works is my unit here is facing one of Josh's. So because that condition is met, I'm now going to exhaust the remaining amount of magic that I have, which is all 7, in order to take this unit and put him in any opposite position in an adjacent tile. So he's actually gonna go straight off the tile, and when it goes off into this black border, this one will get imprisoned. And for the upkeep phase, I can actually torment your prisoners, and they will take 1 damage for every turn. So this one will also end up in my deceased pool over here for the next one. So that is it for me.
Okay.
Come on, Flame.
Okay,
you gotta
wow,
reignite your fire here, man.
The tides have turned.
Literally.
All right.
Welcome to the Frost Kingdom.
Let's see. That was not expecting that. So, okay, I'm gonna take this advantage card and draw 1, and then reveal 1 for the row. And that's my turn. When Tim imprisoned one of my battalions, instead of taking the maneuver tactical order, I could have taken the extricate order, which basically allows me to free my imprisoned battalion.
Back to me. How do I want to end this game? Let's see. So Torment first happens. Torment means this one is now going to be taking 1 damage, so this goes over here. 2 more units, and that is game, sir. Also, upkeep phase, counterattack, so this is going to take 2 more damage, so this one now goes here. 1 more unit. Which one looks the most juiciest to me? 6 or 3? I can also, actually, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna take my time killing you off. So here, I'm going to pillage this one. So that is going to be my 1 order. And then I have 1 more tactical order to perform. So I'm actually going to take my number 6, and we're going to use a light again to fly over here and face him this way, and then descend off. Actually, because I now know how it feels like to be pounced twice, I will now leave him there. And that's it.
Tim has almost quite literally turned the tables on me, so I'm going to play the Expert Navigation card, which marching costs no greater than 1 magic counter for the entire turn of this tactical order, and I'm going to use that for this unit here. There, and then I'm going to build 3 ramparts. So I have 1 here, and I'll leave it at that actually.
Just 1 rampart?
Just 1 rampart.
Okay.
And I'll leave that one there, so I have 1 more, and I'm actually gonna pounce.
I didn't see this coming.
Pounce all the way to that little small looking battalion there, and that's, I'm not gonna play any cards. That's 6. And you don't have any cards
No
to play.
cards.
6 to 1, that's 5 damage.
Dude. Okay.
Yeah, 1 more down. We're getting there.
There we go.
And that's my
Vigor.
turn.
So you gain Vigor in yours too.
That's right. Means I can't be.
And also a side note too, when you route units, if I didn't route Josh like off the board and I routed him to somewhere else on the board, they would actually gain stun, which means Josh would not be able to issue a tactical order at all to that unit for that round. So a quick little side note before this game's over. Now, let's see here. This one has Vigor, which means it cannot be routed off. For this action, I need some cards back. So I'm gonna take this one and then draw one. And then we are back to replenishing this, and it is back to you, sir.
All right. Tipping the scales here again. All right, so immediately I'm going to resolve this. So this counter gets taken off.
Yep.
And I'm gonna straight pillage that outpost.
Ooh.
Put one on the board for me. I'll take this.
Looks like Flame's back in the game, man.
It's
Okay.
getting hot in here, Tim.
Okay.
And then as my second tactical order, I'm going to wheel. So that's one counter. I have 4 left. -3 to enter this forest. 1 left, and I'm gonna wheel again.
Okay. That's it?
That's it. On to you.
So question, not because I'm worried at all, but quick question. When you pounce, do you have to be facing that unit?
I'm gonna assume, and yes, the text here says in line of facing. I'm a little worried there.
That saves me, let's see, I think maybe, let's see, 1 and 2. No, you still gotta wheel twice, unless you got a card there. I'm going to end this game in 2 turns. Watch this amazing feat of glorious actions here. So, because I am part of the Frost Kingdom, it only costs me 1 movement to move across ice. So I'm going to actually boost this movement with this card here. So just 2, raw 2. So I'm going to have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then wheel. What's 4? Frick, I used all my stuff, dude. Okay, how about I take that? Can I take that back?
Yeah,
okay.
go.
So I'm gonna play my other super secret card, which is 3, and then wheel this unit off into that outpost. And I have 1 more order left, so I'm actually going to use a light again and fly on over here, and we're going to face this way, and for last point of magic we're going to descend onto that unit and build that tower. So that is it for me.
As part of the Flame faction, we fight till the end.
Okay.
And I'm going to issue my first tactical order on this battalion here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to take another tactical order. Play my +2.
Here we go.
Which is to wheel 1, 2. Oh no! So, since I'm out of options, I'm just going to take the wheel option, which is 1, and use the scald option, which allows me to burn the forest tiles, one that's adjacent to the targeted one here. And if there were any battalions on that space, they would take 4 damage. But that's all I have, unfortunately.
And is that it for you?
That's it.
Final turn, we're gonna start off with pillage. So this one goes, and that is game. Good game, man, good game. Okay, so before we go, I wanna explain a couple of actions that weren't in play in this one. So one of them is actually to sacrifice. So you can actually mark one of your units with this die here. And when you do, they're going to be marked for sacrifice. So they're just going to be stuck pretty much in that position that turn. And if they're still alive by the time they come back, then they're going to be given to the other player into their death pool. And then in exchange for that sacrifice, I can then allocate a total of 8 magic for any unit. So for instance, if this was a level 1 unit and I marked it for sacrifice, it was still alive for the next round, and it died and went off to Josh's pool, this unit would now gain 8 magic instead of having just 2.
One of the other options instead of maneuver is also to lighten a unit or battalion. And for example, this 6 unit battalion, I could actually lower its rank to let's say 3, and it takes on that properties of the battalion. So instead of having the 6 strength and the 2 magic counters, it now has the 5 magic counters and the 3 strength. And that's super useful if you want to kind of maneuver through terrain that a bulkier unit wouldn't be able to previously.
And you can also give on that load to someone else. So instead of having 3, if you have adjacent units, for instance, so if you had a 4 here and a 2 here, you can then change those. So if this was originally 5, this can be given and distributed across other units or just all towards 1 unit. So you went from 5 to 3, right? Yeah, so 5 to 3. So since Josh went from 5 to 3, he can then bolster this unit and make this a 4 now instead of a 2. That's how Lighten works. So that is our gameplay of Warline. Thank you once again to LJ Plays for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested in this game, I will leave links to the Kickstarter down below. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see Josh in more videos, because I want to convince him to be here more often. So with that, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you all in the next one.